like, yeah, no, like I need an articulated to run my air seeder. No, you don't. You need a 6R. Alright, got the cultivator all set up. It's the heat of the day, so I'm not gonna cultivate because I don't want to dry the soil out more, even though there is no moisture. But plan is tomorrow morning I'm gonna just get up really early and cultivate and roll everything before 7 o'clock. That way the dew, I'm working in the dew. That's the only moisture we're getting. And no, it's just that way the sun's not baking on the soil, and by the time the sun comes up, everything should be rolled. So, and then we'll plant away, I guess. So, alrighty. Gonna head back and get the air seeder set up and move some stuff around, and catch up with you later. Alrighty, got back to the farm here. Just gonna do a few things on the air seeder. Still haven't got this conveyor all welded up. Alrighty, I think I got everything wired up right in there. Now I just gotta change the depth. Bob greased it for me this afternoon. Alfalfa seed you want shallow, so with there being no rain, I think I'll aim for around 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. So I put it on the lowest setting, and then I pretty well run the gangs and floats so that they just kind of coast along, and that seems to work good. Yeah, so this is your depth gauge handle. So all the way down means that the discs don't go as deep. Yeah, we'll go along and do all 48 of them. Well, this grease nipple doesn't want to latch on, so I'm going to move the T-handle. Just, sometimes they move. Just a 9/16 wrench. You loosen the sucker off. Of course, that one doesn't take grease because it's been neglected. Oh, man. Alright, got everything pretty all hooked up. I just gotta change one wire in the plug to draw power. It's just hooked up a little different between this tractor, I guess. But we'll give it a bath. Alrighty, finished washing there. Just gonna back in all the equipment. Well, it's just the chopper and the air tick, but back it in and then look at that electrical plug and call her a night. Hopefully it's nothing major. I'm not getting power to the isobus, and I know it's the 7-way light plug. I just gotta flip the wires around. So my neighbor over there, he's an old guy, just a gem. He's going with an old combine. I don't even know what series that is, but I think I can zoom in there. I got him. Hold on, I'll show you the video I took on my phone. The camera was charging. This is the video I got of him. Gave a good old wave. All right, we'll diagnose this wire issue and then call her a night. This is why I love my 6Rs. You can just throw it on the air seeder. You can do anything with them. Everyone's always like, yeah, no, like I need an articulated to run my air seeder. No, you don't. You need a 6R. We shall flip some wires around. Because this big red wire puts 12 volts to the clutch at the back there to engage or disengage, and this isn't the first time I had this flipped around. So we'll see if my brain was right. Okay, and now, oh dang. Oh dang. Oh dang. So once again, I was wrong. Just gonna run a wire from the auxiliary to that wire. The wire that needs to power the clutch, and then that should fix it. Got it all figured out. We'll see you in the morning. Morning. We'll let the 8R warm up. Plan today is to do some new seeding. So just going to do a cultivator pass this morning here and then roll it with the steel roller. Yeah, we high-speed disc this field. You're probably wondering, oh, why don't you use the high-speed disc for the finishing tool? Plant behind a high-speed disc, you can feel it go like this. And I don't care how well it's set up, they all do it. You're probably also wondering why the Arctic isn't on this and this is on the air seeder. Worked out that the 8R was close to the cultivator when I unhooked the manure tanks, and that way I didn't have to disconnect the blade, take the weight block off the Arctic. Not that it's hard, but the hours on the 8R are cheaper than the hours on the articulated. And then you're probably like, well, why didn't you put the Arctic on the air seeder? Well, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to put the 6R on it to say I did, but the 8R pulls the cultivator perfectly fine. There's no reason to go deep. All I'm trying to do is level off the seed bed. Alfalfa, you're not supposed to plant deep. My goal is 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. The Brilliant will put it on top. Plan is to do one side with the Brilliant and one side with the air seeder to see. That's, I don't know if I said that, but yeah. Anyways, not going to go deep with cultivator, just want to level out the seed bed so I can mow fast, and hopefully it rains. So we'll get that done here this morning, and then we'll roll it, and then I got to put a drone up for a sunflower festival, and then we'll go plant those sides. So, and then hopefully it rains tonight, hopefully. But tractor's warm enough from my rambling on. I'll take my coffee and relax. Alrighty, just finishing up here. It is so dusty. Alrighty, got the cultivating all wrapped up. Now we'll jump in the roller and roll everything. So the reason that I'm rolling is to keep moisture in and to push stones down and to make a smoother seed bed. Planting just works a lot nicer when the seed bed is smooth. Just finishing up rolling, can't see nothing. Alrighty, got it all set up, calibrated. We'll dump a couple more bags in and seed those out so that my math is ready. Alright, did the first lap around the field and everything is good on the monitor, but sometimes these hoses come out. So just gonna look and see if any have popped out. All good. Okay, so I just did my first fill up. I got 7.6 acres out of 3 bags, and my goal is 20 pounds an acre, and that put me to 21.6. So we're pretty well bang on, but I'm gonna cut the rate back just a well, I did do headlands, so headlands there's always overlap and whatnot, so I'll just leave it the same. It's pretty well bang on. It's going good. And fast, way faster than a 12-foot Brilliant. had to cross this. Someone went for a walk, and now they want back in. We'll put the drone up. So I think the one blockage sensor is bad. It keeps filling up with dust, so I'm guessing it wore through in here. So this is Intelligent Ag. That's what it is. So it's a Bluetooth blockage monitor system that goes to the iPad there in the cab. So these things are like stethoscopes, and it senses that there's product going by, and it actually will sense, like, it's got a mass volume sensor, so it'll show a plus minus for each tower. So you know if something's off at your meter, you know if something's off individually. I can't recommend this blockage monitor system enough. It is just, it's the best. For the whole drill, I think it was like 10,000 bucks to do for a 30-footer, and that's each row blockage. Each row has a blockage sensor, and rocking out in here. This is what the iPad looks like. I got a bit of an oil leak, and I lucked out. One, I got gloves so I don't get all oily, and the hoses are freaking hot. But I just put some hose extensions on because, well, they were a little short for this tractor. I had some kicking around. One blew out of nowhere. The tractor's all dirty now, but ouch. Windows are going to be a nightmare, but what can you do? Just on the last two passes here, and my low tank warning notification came on. Ended up doing the whole field with the air seeder. Talked to my brothers, and just with it being so dry, there is a couple chances of rain the next couple days. At least the seed is in the ground. If we do get some moisture, it won't dry out as quick. With the Brilliant, it just lays the seed on the top. So, I don't know. I'm planting about 1/2 inch deep, and the air seeder seems to be working flawlessly. Knock on wood. The air seeder's pretty well bang on. I just dumped the last bag in, and there's 1.5 acres left. Can't ask for that to plan out any better than it did, because for some reason we always run short when we plant alfalfa. Yeah, I don't know. But the air seeder, the calibration seems to work bang on. Don't mind the dirty windows. So I do 4 headland passes, which is 120 feet, 30, 60, yeah, 120 feet, just so I don't get any fishtails. I know if I had a pull behind cart, I could get away with 3, but with this, with the drill being all the way at the back there, yeah, it's just, I don't like those fishtails. they look like crap. So hoping I got enough. I just got a pass and then this little corner here yet. I just love it when I don't run out of seed. Just doing an extra pass on some headlands by the road. I'm just seeding out any spots where I think I could have missed something. Yeah, it's running low, so this is awesome. I don't think I've ever had seed plan out so well. Isn't that just sweet? All done. I'll explain some of the equipment that we used. This is a Johndeere 6215R with a 1910 cart. Yes, there's supposed to be a conveyor there, but gotta weld this bracket. And this is an 1890 drill. So we used to actually have a CCS tank on this drill, and then we stripped it off, and I found a cart on Kijiji. I paid 30 grand for this cart. It's probably my best internet find. The cart's 21 years old, but it's in really good shape. It came with a stainless meter and a stainless conveyor, and that's 30,000 bucks right there, so I pretty well thought it was a no-brainer. The reason we did this is so we can put fertilizer down with our seed, and it increases seeding capacity. The drill is pretty old too. It's 20 years old. We just keep updating the drill. It was actually a lot of fun converting this thing over. And then this is a roller. It's a back run 32-foot roller. 36-32, so the 36 is the drum diameter, and 32 is the width. Pulled by a Johndeere 7630. Yes, I could have pulled the drill behind the air seeder, but it just gets tight in the corners. And another thing that the roller does is any lumps that are on the surface of the soil, it smashes them and makes the soil more available to the plant. If you have really lumpy soil, it ties up the nutrients and it actually dries your soil out quicker. So this is a Johndeere 2210 cultivator. It's 50 feet wide. It's got a 2-bar harrow with a single rolling basket. It's got the manual depth control, nice and simple. AccuDepth is nice, but they have sensors, and sensors go bad, and then you can't put any other kind of tractor on there. It's got to be a Johndeere, or you got to get the whole wiring kit for it. And this is a Johndeere 8295R. It's a pre-emission 8R. This tractor actually only has 800 hours. It came from an airport. They used it for plowing snow. So it's never seen salt because they're not allowed to use corrosive products at airports. But yeah, so that was the new seating. I think I'll do that a little bit more often, explain the equipment that we're using. You guys probably like that a lot more. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.